is, and I am back with another video. And welcome back to my channel. We're getting ready to get started in just a little bit. Again, this is Liz, and welcome back to my channel. I hope that everybody is having a beautiful day. And once again, we are getting ready to get started. And like I said, welcome back to my channel. Alright, we're getting ready to get started. Welcome back. How's everybody doing? Alright, and we are back with another live video, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, these are the topic of discussions that we are talking about today. And let me know how you feel about these topics of discussion. I'll be checking the chat from time to time. So anyway, we're going to get started with R. Kelly. R. Kelly, the charges has been dropped against R. Kelly, but that doesn't mean that he is going free. But so this is another suit where the charges have been dropped against R. Kelly. And Neyo is going through his divorce settlement. DJ Mustard is going through a divorce settlement as well. So we're going to get started with R. Kelly because the latest charges against him in Illinois have been dropped. Apparently, those charges of allegations have been dropped against R. Kelly in the latest case. But the thing about it is, the state of Illinois feels that justice has been served and that there is no need to pursue R. Kelly for these type of charges. So this lawsuit, the case has been dropped by the prosecution team, but he is still behind bars because he was convicted of that case in New York in 2021. He was convicted of 9 out of 9 charges in the New York case. So he was sentenced to 30 years in that case. So he is, of course, is not going to walk free, even though they have dropped these charges in Illinois. And also, he has been convicted in Illinois as well on charges. He was convicted of 3 out of 13 charges there in Illinois in the year of 2022. And he is scheduled to be sentenced sometime this month. So he still has to be sentenced in this case in Illinois, where he was found guilty or convicted of 3 charges. So R. Kelly is not going to be walking free anytime soon, although this is good news for R. Kelly because that means that he only has, I guess, for now, 1 case to appeal for that 30-year sentence. So it is not known how many years he will be sentenced for in this new case that he is going to be sentenced this month. So this is what is going on with R. Kelly. Let me see if I can get R. Kelly's pictures on the screen because this is who we are talking about right now. And we're going to be looking at an article about R. Kelly as well. So anyway, let's see what this article says about R. Kelly. So let me just bring that up. Give me just a few moments here to get the official article. So this article comes from Showbiz Cheat Sheet. Chicago prosecutor drops R. Kelly as abuse charges. And now just the decision may be disappointing to the accuser. So they're going to drop the charges, although, you know, the accusers, they're not too happy about this. So it goes on to say that R. Kelly and his legal team have been fighting for his freedom since 2019, when he was arrested on federal abuse charges. His latest case involving some charges was a legal victory for Kelly. So they're calling this a legal victory because this will be one less case that he will have to appeal. And his representatives, as the prosecutors in the case, decided to drop the charges they were bringing against the I Believe I Can Fly singer. So they have dropped those charges, but like I said, he was convicted in 2021, and he's still serving 30 years behind bars. So R. Kelly's charges were brought in the aftermath of Lifetime premiering its docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, which chronicled Kelly's years of abuse in the words of some of the survivors themselves. But it goes on to say that in 2021, a New York jury found Kelly guilty on charges including exploitation of child racketeering. So the racketeering charge is the one that garnered him 30 years behind bars. So the jury found that the prosecutors proved Kelly was at the head of a criminal conspiracy to recruit and coerce girls, boys, and women and 2S. So he was convicted and sentenced in the year of 2022. But the charges now have been dropped. Kelly has continued to face charges after his sentences in New York, including a case in Chicago involving the abuse of 4 people, 3 of whom were minors. But in January 2023, the prosecutorial team decided to drop the charges. This, according to the Associated Press, Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox, yeah, she is still the state attorney, announced that she would ask a judge to dismiss the indictments Kelly was facing. Fox, who back in 2019 had asked women and girls with stories about Kelly to come forward so she could bring charges against him, acknowledged that her decision may be disappointing to his accusers who told their stories. So they done went and told their stories to this woman, and now they have dropped the charges. They feel that justice has been served. This man has been sentenced to longer enough. So why keep paying taxpayers' money to prosecute this man when he is already behind bars? I think is their train of thought. Now they said that R. Kelly is potentially looking at the possibility of never walking out of prison again for the crimes that he's committed. So the prosecutor said, referring to Kelly's federal convictions, while today's cases are no longer being pursued, we believe justice has been served. So they believe that justice has been served. But meanwhile, Lenita Carter, who claimed she was assaulted by R. Kelly in 2003, said she was extremely disappointed. So the victim are extremely disappointed. So they are going back years and years and years where, it was thought that what was the statute of limitations before, like 5 or 7 years. Now people can go back 10, 20 years, apparently. So this is what is going on. This appears to be a win for R. Kelly, but at the same time, he's not going to be released anytime soon. So this is what is going on with R. Kelly. We're going to move on to our next story, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at the chat first and see what the people are saying in the chat. And then we're going to move on and we're going to be talking about Neyo and his settlements after his divorce. So let's see what everybody is saying in the chat. Check the chat. All right, Lily. What did Lily say? She said, I saw somewhere that the state of Illinois did not want to use up its resources pursuing this case. Exactly. They're going to be using up taxpayer money. They're going to be using up resources, to pursue this case. The bottom line is it costs money to pursue this man, and this man is already locked up behind bars. So why keep pursuing him with the taxpayer money? I mean, how many times can you convict a man of the same crimes? And then Lily says, when that surviving R. Kelly series dropped, it was a wrap. So, it was a wrap. So I guess states felt like they had to pursue R. Kelly. I mean, how could they produce that docuseries and people will not be wondering, how is this man keep getting away with this? So R. Kelly is still behind bars. We recently seen him do an interview with the YouTuber Star Moreau, where he was saying that there was some type of conspiracy with the witness tampering. That's what he was alleging against another YouTuber. And I think her name is Unwind with Tasha K. So anyway, that is what is going on with R. Kelly. We're going to move on from R. Kelly and talk about Neyo. Neyo apparently has reached a divorce settlement. It seems like he divorced pretty quickly. And it seems like DJ Mustard divorced pretty quickly as well. But it seems like some other people have these long, drawn-out divorces. But now he is in settlement for this. So we're going to be talking about Neyo. Let me see if I can get a picture of Neyo up on the screen. So Neyo has reached a divorce settlement. Reportedly, Neyo net worth is about $9 million. So let's tell you what type of settlement he has reached. So he has to pay thousands of dollars, I believe, for child support. And let's see what else he has agreed to pay. I believe he has agreed to pay a lump sum, $150,000, so that his ex-wife can buy a luxury car as well. He is going to be keeping I think it's a Rolls Royce, but don't quote me on that. So it's a 2022 luxury car that he is keeping. So he has to agree to shell out money, I guess, to keep her living in the same lifestyle that she was living in when she was with him. So anyway, we're going to take a look at an article that reports on Neyo and what is going on with his divorce settlement. So give me just a few moments. And so this comes from OK Magazine. Neyo will pay ex-wife Crystal Renee nearly $2 million after finalizing divorce. Pair agreed to joint custody of kids. So they're going to have joint custody of kids, but he still has to pay. That's why some people say that it's cheaper to keep her, but apparently she does not want to be kept. She went on social media after the alleged things out there about Neyo, and she wasn't for it. So anyway, this article says that Neyo and Crystal Renee have settled up after they split, according to court documents. Almost 6 months after the duo called it quits, the singer, so Neyo is 43, will now have to pay his ex-wife almost $2 million to balance out their real estate holdings. So I guess this is her portion that she's entitled to based on their real estate holding. And it says going forward, she will get one of their Georgia homes in addition to $20,000 to cover the moving expenses. So she's going to keep a home in Georgia. So it's not that expensive to live in Georgia, but at the same time, she was used to that high lifestyle. And it says that Neyo agreed to give Renee, who is 36, $150,000 in order for her to buy a new car, as he will keep their 2022 Bentley. So it's a Bentley, not a Rolls Royce, so I apologize. So he's going to keep the 2022 Bentley, but she's going to be riding in style as well, you know, with $150,000. I'm sure she can find a nice car for $150,000. Now it says when it comes to their 3 kids, so they have a child that is 6, 4, and one that is 1 year. So they have 3 children together. Neyo will pay Renee $12,000 a month in child support. So she's going to get $12,000 in addition to covering the kids' school expenses. So he has to pay out for their school expenses as well. He'll also have to pay $5,000 a month in alimony for the next 3 years. So for the next 3 years, this is what she is to get in alimony. So this is what is going on with Neyo. He has settled. He's settling in his divorce that has been finalized. But let's go on and take a look at this. This is what she was claiming. She said, 8 years of lies and deception, 8 years of unknowingly sharing my life and husband with numerous of women who sell their bodies to him unprotected. Every last one of them. To say I'm heartbroken and disgusted is an understatement. To ask me to stay and accept it is absolutely insane. The mentality of narcissists. So she is saying, I guess he was asking her to stay, you know, but she was not having it once she found out. So this is what is going on. They have reached an agreement, apparently, in their divorce settlement. So this is what is going on with Neyo. Let me just go ahead and put another picture up of Neyo with his wife, and then I'm going to go ahead and check out the chat and see what everybody is talking about in the chat. So apparently these two have split. And before we go ahead and move on to DJ Mustard and the settlement and what is going on with him, let's go ahead and take a look at the chat and see what people are saying in the chat. All right, my girl Liz says that I'm not too familiar with Neyo's personal life, but he's one of the greatest songwriters of his generation. All right, so Lily apparently appreciates Neyo for his songwriting, but now he's going through divorce, and apparently he has reached a divorce settlement with his wife. And I love Neyo music as well, and I believe that he is going on the Lovers and Friends tour with Usher. I could be wrong, but I believe that Neyo is set to go on the Lovers and Friends tour with Usher. So he's going to need that money. He's still out there making that money. So he's going to support his ex-wife, and he's going to be taking care of his children. So that is the good thing. So this is what is going on with Neyo. We're going to move on now, and we're going to be talking about DJ Mustard and the settlement that he has reached with his ex-wife. So let me see if I can get a picture of DJ Mustard up here on the screen, and we're going to go ahead and see what is going on with DJ Mustard. But anyway, like I said, it is reported that Neyo's net worth is $9 million, so he can afford to take care of his children and pay that child support. But anyway, let's go ahead and get a picture of DJ Mustard up here on the screen, because now we're going to be talking about DJ Mustard. Apparently, he has reached a settlement with his wife. And first, we're going to take a look at an article. You know, he filed for divorce back in May of 2022. Mustard is calling it quits on his marriage, filing for divorce just a year and a half after he and his wife said, "I do." So they were only married for a year and a half, but they have been knowing each other for a long time, because it was reportedly that they have a 10-year-old. So they have 2 children together. So it says that the super successful producer filed against Chanel Theory Monday in Los Angeles, and he cites irreconcilable differences as the reason for the divorce. So that was back in May of 2022. Fast forward to today, and they have reached a settlement in the divorce. Now, it was reportedly that she was initially demanding $80,000 a month. Now, DJ Mustard net worth is more than Neyo, according to Google. His net worth is about $14 million. So, but she was wanting $80,000. But anyway, they have settled apparently for her to receive $19,000 a month. So DJ Mustard to pay ex-wife $19,000 a month and child support. So it says that his ex Chanel have agreed to attempt to settle their child support battle privately after she demanded $80,000 per month from the music producer. This according to Radar Online. So according to court documents obtained by Radar Online, Mustard and Chanel informed the court yesterday of their agreement. So apparently they have come to an agreement. So they have come to a compromise. Previously reported, recently Mustard filed for divorce from Chanel Theory in 2022. And again, he cited irreconcilable differences. The two share 3 children, so I stand corrected. They have 3 children together. He demanded joint legal custody and physical custody. So in both cases, it seems like both men wanted joint custody, but you know, they have still got to pay child support in their agreements. It says that the two have been together for years, but only walked down the aisle in October 2020. So even though they have been together for years, once they got married, it seems like, you know, this is when they hit turmoil in their relationship. So it says that in response, Chanel asked the court to order Mustard to cough up the hefty amount. Chanel agreed with joint physical and legal custody of their 3 children. So even though they're going to have joint custody, he still has to pay this child support. So it goes on to say that Chanel said, per their premarital agreement, Mustard should pay her another $35,000 per month in spousal support. So this is what is going on. They have come to an agreement, and apparently he's going to have to pay $19,000 a month in child support. Let me know what you think about this. Now, let me see if I can get a photo of DJ Mustard in his ex-wife up here on the screen. And I'm going to take a look at the chat and see what is going on in the chat and see what people are saying in the chat. And then we're going to move on. All right, so let me see what Lily is saying now. This is my girl. Speaking of that Lovers and Friends tour, I heard that Lil Jon might be suing. Yes, Lil Jon is not here for the tour being named Lovers and Friends when him and Usher did that record together. So does Usher have the right to call this tour Lovers and Friends when he and Lil Jon had that hit record called Lovers and Friends? So Lil Jon is not here for it, and he is not being put on this tour. So what's up with that, Usher? Why is Lil Jon not being put on this tour? Lil Jon wants to make some paper too. I know that you have a successful show there in Vegas, but what about your homie Lil Jon? I am just saying. But anyway, let's see what the people in chat are saying. And this person says, I think child support is based on income and not the net worth. You can have $1 million in the bank or worth assets, but if you don't currently have any income, you may not have to pay much. So that is a good point. Of course, you know, is based on the amount that they are able to pay per month. And DJ Mustard is still out there making money. Neyo is still out there making money. So they can afford it, whether they want to pay it or not. But, you know, this is the agreement that they have come to. And let's see. Now, we have talked about R. Kelly and his charges being dismissed, but he is still behind bars. We have talked about Neyo, and he has reached his settlement. You know, he has to pay some lump sums out. I don't see where DJ Mustard has agreed to pay any lump sums out. Now, we're going to talk about Andrew Tate because he is still being held there in Romania. They are holding him for another 30 days. So let me see if I can get Andrew Tate photo up here on the screen, and then we're going to go ahead and see what is going on with Andrew Tate, the controversial media person. Well, you don't see him too much on media nowadays. You know, I can't find him on Twitter anymore. I can't find him on Instagram anymore. It seems like there are some pages that have been made on Instagram to kind of help him, you know, get his point across. But as an official page for Andrew Tate, seems like once again he is no longer on social media. So anyway, let's see what's going on with the controversial figure. Apparently, he is being retained there in Romania. They were retaining him for 30 days, and now they're going to retain him for an additional 30 days. And it is being reported that no charges have been brought against this man. So I guess in Romania, they can detain you, and then they can figure out the charges. So I don't know that he is locked up. He is being detained. So we're going to take a look at this article from the Associated Press. Andrew Tate loses appeal against 30-day retention in Romania. So, of course, he would appeal it. And, of course, he is pleading not guilty. That is the stance. So, he's there in Bucharest, Romania. So, a Romanian court on Wednesday upheld a second 30-day detention for the divisive influencer and former professional kickboxer Andrew Tate, who is held on suspicion of organized crime and human trafficking. This is what an official has told the Associated Press. Tate lost his appeal against a judge's January 20th decision to extend his arrest a second time for 30 days. So he is still being detained for an additional 30 days. Andrew Tate is 36 years old. He is a British U.S. citizen. So he is both a citizen of Britain and the U.S. So why is he there in Romania? So anyway, citizen who has nearly 5 million followers on Twitter. I can't find his Twitter page. I think his Twitter page has been suspended. He arrived at the Bucharest Court of Appeal handcuffed to his brother Tristan. So they are handcuffed now, who is held in the same case along with 2 Romanian women. So 2 women are being held there with them as well. None of the 4 have yet been formally charged. So that's the thing. They are still being held, but there are no formal charges against them. The court rejected their appeals, and all will remain in custody until February 27th as prosecutors continue investigating the case. They previously lost an appeal against an earlier 30-day detention. So we're going to have to keep watching and see what happens with Andrew Tate. So this is what is going on. It says that a document seen by the Associated Press explaining the January 20 decision said the judge took into account the particular dangerousness of the defendants and their capacity to identify victims with an increased vulnerability in search of better life opportunities. So Andrew Tate is not going to be released. They're going to detain him, and whether former charges will be brought against him remains to be seen. Appears that they are building a case. So let me go ahead and check out the live chats, and then we are going to be done with this live. Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in. I do appreciate you. So let's see what everybody is saying in the chat. Okay, this person says, if the crimes happen in Romania, they probably have jurisdiction. That might be why he is there. Yes, but I think he was there before they held him. He was already there, and once they found out he was there, I believe some people were saying that they identified him by the pizza when he got into it with this activist. And, you know, they were alerted that he was there, and then they retained him there, and he has not been able to leave. But anyway, these have been our topics of discussion of today. Let me know what you think about our topics of discussions. What do you think about Andrew Tate being detained there in Romania? Are you surprised that he is being detained, or that he hasn't been detained somewhere sooner than this? Let me know what your feelings are about this. You know, he is being caught up in the matrix there. Will he be able to escape the matrix remains to be seen. So anyway, these are the stories. This is what we have been talking about. What do you think about R. Kelly? Those charges being dismissed against R. Kelly. Is it too much, too little, too late after he's already behind bars? You know, but this is the reason why they dismissed those charges, because, you know, he is already behind bars. So anyway, I appreciate you busybodies for tuning in. Don't forget to like this video. Give this video a like. Yes, we are begging for likes. Thumbs up this video. It doesn't cost you anything to like this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm trying to get to 100 and then to 500 and then to 1,000. So make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. This is Liz, and thank you for watching, and I'm out.
With the bees. This is Liz with the bees. Yo, this is Liz with the bees. This is Liz with the bees. Telling it how it is. And she gon' keep it real, cause it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, this is Liz with the bees.